Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Last week, we went into a dungeon, and we failed the dungeon. So tonight, we will be trying again, and hopefully, we only takes one more try. We shall see. So let's dive into it. All right, we are live. Are we ready for dungeon, or do we need to do something to warm up first?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm fine either way. It's fine.
Either way. For Steam,
Uh,
it's $40, KJ.
Okay. That's the early?
I just looked at it real quick, so I didn't really look at it, so.
I
All
think
right.
it's not like a early access pay more. I think it's just if you get it before that date, then you
Then you get
those
those
items.
3 extra macabre items.
Yeah.
Macabre items? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I feel like they might have actually missed their initial release window, because that feels like Halloween was their intended release.
That makes more sense for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. But I mean, if the whole thing is focused on the Grim Reaper, I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying that this was a Halloween expansion. I just mean its themes align fairly well with Halloween. So I would have expected them to try to release it at that time. But sometimes you miss your deadlines.
Yeah. The vampire one would have been pretty good too, though.
I don't remember
like
when that
Halloween.
released, if it released around Halloween or not.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember when that actually released.
All right, we'll see what we can remember and what we can't. I think this is a room wide. I think there's gonna be a bunch of lines we need to dodge.
We need to get away from something.
When he does the arrow, yeah.
Then we run over here.
Down. I think last track.
Kill him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh crap.
Yeah, the last one didn't go down.
Oh, I thought, dang it! I thought you guys were all down. Shoot.
It's
Sorry.
okay.
That's all right, Zora. I thought everybody was down too, and was about to let myself go down when I saw KJ stand back up. Room wide. Run. wide. Room wide. Room wide.
Sorry, I muted myself because I breathe heavy in the fights, and I was trying to res Emo before Keth died and before he released. So
Gotcha.
I was like, hurry, 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 hurry. And then I was perhaps going to die anyway because I was almost dead anyhow. But yeah,
We won. That's what matters.
yeah. All that mouth breathing, I'm dry, I'm thirsty. Excuse me. Oh. Not for
I forgot about the zombies.
me too.
I was just running through the room and I was like, that door is closed. Are we going the wrong way? And then the mob starts
That's what I was
standing up.
thinking.
I'm like, oh, right.
That's what I was thinking too. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit. That scared me actually a little. Give me a fright.
In the middle when it's over.
In the middle. Spread out.
Not in there, KJ.
I started spreading out, and I'm dead, I think. No, I'm not dead. Oh, yes, I'm dead now.
Well, that eliminates the need to spread out.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're right on the edge there, huh? Oh, I'm great.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna make it.
I got you. I got you. Baby. Here it comes. Here it comes. Gotcha.
Here come the circles again.
When do you think you could get it healed out?
Oh, shoot, I'm dead again.
I'm down.
Ah!
I got myself on a bad, like I stepped right into the gunk right immediately, and then I stopped to try and heal KJ, and I should have just gotten to the edge before I healed KJ.
Yeah. Why did that?
Hmm.
Okay, you gotta push. You gotta push OK all the way. Go through the whole way.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't just say, "Oh yeah, I'm dead. Everybody else is dead." So yes, and then let go. You know, clicky. And then I'm like just still sitting there dead. I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, sorry, just bitching.
In the middle.
Come out, but
Room wide. Here come the circles again.
Sorry. That was bad. Waited.
Room wide. Room wide. Here come the circles again.
Down.
Room wide. Room wide. Here come the circles again.
Shit.
Oh, I fell
Sorry.
down.
I got you.
I've got you.
Room wide. Room wide. Here come the circles again.
Down.
I'm down too. Shoot.
I got you.
Room wide.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Room wide. Here come the circles again.
I was like, he's almost dead. Just die.
I will say the cycle on that boss is very rough. Because most of the bosses have really hard stuff followed by a little bit of a break. This boss's little bit of a break is when he's spamming room-wide AoEs trying to just wipe us.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
And then you don't want to get that stupid trap on you because if you get hit with it, then it's like extra
debuff.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely take that. That was like a 30 item level upgrade.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, we did much better this time.
So we have 55 minutes to work this one out.
Uh-huh. Evil angry bunny.
Yeah. Behind him.
Sorry.
I completely forgot about it too.
Oh crap. I got stuck. Thank you. Oh shit. I'm just gonna start over.
I got stuck on that one.
Yeah.
And I got
I
hit
went the
by
wrong way.
I got hit by 4 of them in a row.
I'm gonna go run and get a drink.
All right.
When he does the hole in the ground, he like does things that fall, and then he pretty soon will do the thing get behind him thing again.
Yep.
And I think once we got past the first half, that was the next thing that killed us.
Damn it.
One thing that you don't really notice, at least I don't, in FF14, that's different from WoW, unless you look over at the little clock, is how much longer boss fights are. A long dungeon boss fight in WoW is 2.5, 3 minutes. That death we just had was 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's because we do little damage, not a lot. I think. I think in WoW our damage is more. Our damage to bosses does more.
Perhaps.
They do allow for rezzing, which can help you have a longer fight.
True. True.
Rezzing more often, because WoW does. But
I mean, like, even raid bosses in WoW are balanced to be 6 minutes long. So, and a raid boss at FF14 is 25, 30 minutes.
yeah, yeah. Get up close so you can get behind him.
Get behind him.
Let's see where the next one's going to land. Oh, okay. I didn't see that one landing where I was running to. It's alright. Sorry. Oh, okay. Son of a bitch. Okay.
Oh, I wasn't watching that.
I've got you.
Get to the outside, Zora.
Don't res emo.
Ah, too late! Shit!
It'll be okay, because you might. Oh, because you had that space of time.
Yeah. You had 8 seconds.
Run to the side. Run.
going, keep going,
I
keep
wasn't.
going,
I
keep
couldn't
going.
have fast run.
Get
Did she
behind him.
make it?
I'm like very low though.
Oh, I didn't have enough health for that.
You're down again. Dang it.
It looks like he loops from there. So if we can survive the transition, we might be okay. And I would offer guidance on how to survive the spirals, but he does different patterns every time. So,
Yeah, and sometimes there's. It's not like it's every other. It's sometimes there's two of the same period.
I think it helps. Well, I was gonna say, I think it helps to be close to the outside, but I'm not sure about that. Get behind him.
Oh, I
Got
was
you.
standing in
Got
the
you.
trap. Thank you.
Get to the outside. Run. Run. And run past him. Now get behind him.
Dang it.
Yep. And I fell in the hole.
Oh, and we were overlapped way too much. That was better.
Yeah. Okay, just some details on what happens in the circle phase. When the first big thing he's going to do is he's going to drop an AoE at his feet, and you have to run to the other side of the circle, opposite him. As soon as that explodes, he's going to spam a ring of circles that's going to hit half of the perimeter. I can't tell you which half. You'll have to be... well, I guess you could follow me, because I will be paying attention to which half he's going to hit. But as soon as the big one goes off, I'm going to start running in a direction. Follow me. And you need to run past him, because the last circle is going to be at his feet. Then...
And not too far, because he jumps away.
Right. Immediately after that, he's going to jump away and do his thing where you have to get behind him. But I don't know which direction he's going to jump. So you want to run past him, but only just past him, like Emo said.
Yeah. I think that when you run past him, I think he automatically jumps in the opposite direction as we were going.
Maybe.
That's what it seems like he's doing,
Could be.
but I mean, it could be different.
Then after that, he'll do a stack marker. So you need to be behind him and ready for a stack marker. Then after that, he does a couple of room-wide AoEs, and then everything loops. Unless I'm forgetting something. Get behind him.
Sorry, Kath, I was a little bit on you on that one.
That's alright. Get to the outside. Run to the opposite side. Run.
Oh,
Get
he
behind
didn't.
him. Room wide. Room wide. Oh, and a tank buster. I forgot about the tank buster. Run. Run. Get behind him. Sprint. Back. Room wide. Room wide. Tank buster. And then we get a little break before we have to run away again. Now we run away. Run. Get behind him. Sprint. Back. Room wide. Room wide. Tank buster. Run. Run. Get behind him. Sprint. Back. Room wide. Room wide. Tank buster. Run. Run. Get behind him. Sprint. Back. Room wide. Room wide. Tank buster. Run. Run. Run, get behind him. Sprint. Stack. Room wide. Room wide. Tank buster. Victory.
Yay!
And unless I missed it, nobody fell in the hole. So well
Nobody fell
done.
in the hole.
And more healer gear.
Aw.
The healer day, jeez.
Well, I would say from this dungeon, Emo earned it. This is a
Yeah.
this is a stressful place to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, slightly.
Well done.
Yeah, good job, everybody, though.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Valley Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zoralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the
It's
creature.
odd, it's still looking like it's breathing.
Yeah, I was about to say that. 10 seconds until it eats Kryl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. It is still alive.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tural Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
So, you've given him permission?
Teishalja, you will assist Kaniloka. As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiment. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power, but with no one to rely upon. We must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are... I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliolal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours. That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Kind of a weird exchange.
Are you all right?
Teishalja. Could she be my mother?
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubigo women were trapped in the... That being the case, she could...
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishalja there.
That's where we're going next, then.
rephased.
Yes. I have not yet clicked Galul Jah. Apparently somewhere I picked up a bunch of materia because my bags are almost full.
Yeah, I think it was dropping like flies.
Welcome back. It is unclear to me whether what we fought was just the Taral Vidral, or if they actually got their experiments that far to try and control its soul.
Yeah.
Because the fact that we were able to get an echo of that scene means one of the people there had to be present. And the overseer, we fought him in this room. So he wasn't out there. So that thing was either just the Taral Vidral or it was this other Mamulja.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking it's just the Taral Vidral. But yeah. I am clicking Galul Jah. I wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamulja women here. For a long time, I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliolol and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day, I hope I could see what she actually looked like as well. Ryle is eager to begin searching the research facility. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces that might remain afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around, for information as well as a way to the upper level. Oh, it's one of those cases of we complete the dungeon, now we can run around the dungeon doing quest stuff.
I wish we weren't separated, though. That's the only thing.
Indeed. Galul Jah says, "What happened to the people here? Did they all leave? Or did we already meet them?" Alpha Node says, "To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zoral Jah so absolute?" Alpha Node, I would like to note in the vision, he emphasized the word volunteer in such a way that I believe it was just get what you... Yeah, voluntold. There you go. Alizé says, it won't open. I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. And if you click the wrought iron gate, it basically says, you won't be able to force it, you need to find a key. Raha says, I wonder what Beg Luke would make of this research into transferring souls. Kryl says, researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. Wuklamat says, makes me angry to think about what they did here. Yeah, Wuklamat understood the voluntold part.
Mm-hmm.
The test subject's journal. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good, yes? I am good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit off hand of feeder. Cannot help it. So strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. I must eat. Am eater. Must eat. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Perhaps you search elsewhere. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate.
This makes me think of Jurassic Park.
I can see that. Found the key? Great, I'll call the others. Seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. How do you know that from standing all the way over here, Alizé?
Yeah.
So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Valigarmanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure. Most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Galulja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Dale taught me how. There's so much data, I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name to Ishilja. I brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Ishilja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us back. Let us take it back with Let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to the storage device I brought. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for both of us. Now, Alize, you don't have to suck up like that. She says, I admit the Taral gave me a fright at first, but then I remembered who felled the mighty Valigarmanda. Uh-huh. That took 8 people. This one only took 4. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. Well, I mean, Graha, we have the authorities here. We have the king. So.
True.
Welcome back. The little jaw has already given me the storage device. It looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alice and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I finish my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Alice isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have a chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who have been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliolal. My brother is doing all he can to see that Zaktural Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, though some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kwana seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaloni Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kwana informed. Wasn't sure which one of the teleports we needed in the zone. Because, you know, the quest says go to Shaloni Station. But where is Shaloni Station?
Mm-hmm. Bower Resolve. What can I do for you today? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tural that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Scratch the on his way. I had the same reaction.
As my character just did to Aaronville.
I really want to go with option 2, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it. We're going with option 1. As the guild ship has officially approved my transition from gleaner to independent contractor, I was in need of more befitting attire. Still got the spare boots on his backpack, though. Even though it's an entirely new backpack, I note.
Yeah, it's nice.
You hear about the railroad, too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamati has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back to our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mehwasetoda. That is, the Renoak. Though the Histaro that follow them are none too pleased about their Heseto being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised is to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Renoak will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the railroads plotted to avoid Renoak's preferred grazing areas, though? It's odd they're getting so close in the first place. The Renoak grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of that place for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter, and I too would hear what the Histaro have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Huato. The rest of you can accompany us to the Histaro encampment if you like. Reminder, if we have forgotten, the tribe of Histaro are Koana's people. But apparently they abandoned him or discarded him or something. Chocobo's got strong wings. And yes, I just realized I could have teleported over here. But, oh well.
Oh well.
We can fly now. We might as well use it.
Yes.
Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way out all the way to this place. I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Jacques Tarol Railroad. You too have noted the Renoic's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Geppetto, has been looking into this matter. Geppetto? Normally, we'd expect the Renoic to keep to their favorite grounds nearby for a while yet. And despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in that place or the other place. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward toward your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonable migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Histara would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Histaro descent. My parents traveled with the Renoic as well, though I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. A chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade, that I might fend for myself. I became a stall keeper in Tuliol's markets, and that is where the Dawn Servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamati came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I've never heard of a Renoic choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision. Nor of any Histero willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their actions never much appealed to me. I think option 1 would make him angry, but I'm going to say it anyway. As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Histaro way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds, rather than blind fervor for innovation, it would nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor Dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Renoic, and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. Be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of Histaro culture with me? Should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sisters share, but it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Renoic, and we'll have a look around the plains. And perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek.
No variation in response from anyone.
Yeah, the response I got from him, I assumed there would be no difference at that point.
Yeah, if he hadn't directly reacted, yeah, more upset, yeah.
And I do want to say, when we were doing the quests, that Koana mentioned his father's name. And I want to say Hawato mentioned that same name when we were here questing. But I cannot remember exactly. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above some manual labor. I am not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you. Teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let's meet back here to share what we've learned. You're learning about the Hetsaro way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrived at them myself. The Hetso provide us with something that we use in medicines, poultices, and soap, to drive away pests and to sustain our fires. What is it? Is it dung? Again? It sounds like there's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered a myriad uses of Renoic chips over time, so each a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, our Hetso always provide. First, try to click and click Zora. Then try to switch to the other side of the NPC and click, and somehow manage to click my pet that is sitting on my shoulder. This won't do. The wind will go right through it. Me without my needle and sinew. Apparently, we have a mending kit. Oh, these are precisely what I need. Should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Renoic hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. I'm afraid I've finished with my tasks for the time being. But since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know the Renoic are our Hetso, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But as you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound on different paths. On this occasion, we Hetsaro must also part with half of our number. You may think it strange or stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetso.
As you stroke the Renoic's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would get lost in the tangle like it's not. Ah, Shepto sent a Renoic brush with you, did he? I'll like him. Now, just run it through one little patch at a time. Gently. You dutifully brush the Renoic until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done. With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat, and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. You smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, and with the horns of a Renoic to boot. I have to wonder how Valquona's getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is now. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Renoic, and ended up rather far afield. Found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? I'm going with option 2. The Renoic are treasured members of this community, as important as family. Indeed, the Renoic provide the Hetsaro, and in turn, the Hetsaro are good to the Renoic, just as families should be. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Renoic, as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish as an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We're here in service to the people of Tyrol, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find a deeper meaning in what you've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hetso. I'm glad to hear that, Valquor. You're welcome among our herd anytime.
I'm very suspicious that this quest gave us food. Very suspicious.
Okay.
Have we all clicked Koana now? Or somebody's still in the old quest?
I did. I've clicked him.
Yep. Damn, sorry. I have clicked him.
Oh, then I shall click him.
I clicked him also.
Okay. Oh, and I suspect in the last quest, a comment about horns to match was for me only, wasn't it?
Yes.
Since I have horns.
Yeah.
Koana, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetso. They nourish the Hetsaro as they grow, and provide warmth and companionship in the harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Renoic are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. Hetsaro would never cage them, and neither should we. Control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. Then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Renoic's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Renoic. Even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of raptors, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with a natural disaster. Earthquakes, landslides. So the Hetsaro would have surely put two and two together were the cause geological. I measured the area's ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plain, albeit slowly. What do you think, Koana? Given where we are, I believe we are dealing with a powerful beast. A predator, perhaps, given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something with very large fangs.
couldn't be. Torohetsu? Torohetsu? Renoic Reaver in the common language, in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hetso in the night is another evocative one. Renoic can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Torohetsu. Their scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds to the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from its home. Pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Renoic's consternation is clear. As is our next move. We must drive this Reaver away, that they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Never fear. We will make certain the beast threatens you no more. Looks like a duty. Good luck, everybody. The Renoic Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. And if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. Your progress through the upcoming battle will be saved at certain points. In the event you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost.
Help! Help! Hetsu is coming this way! It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get...
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
There they are!
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers. The Ronek are Turali too. None shall be left behind. There must be something up ahead. Come! There!
These are no match for the likes of us.
In a panic was clearly an understatement. More are coming!
You're mine!
All or nothing, then. It seems that did the trick.
For the fodder, at least. But where's... Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
There! That one there! Not so fast! even should it cost me my life. I will save the Hetzel!
Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety!
There. You've nothing to fear.
Right! Let's finish.
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer! You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
Damn it! Not even a scratch!
Buy me some time to think, will you? It must have a weakness, and I will find it. Keep it busy. I need time.
Right. Go for the legs. Now we just have to keep it pinned. Get thinking, Kona!
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow? I've got it! One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and... You're done for! That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Nothing stopping us now! Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me!
We must disperse that ether ere the river recovers it!
This is going to hurt.
We did it. That's
The Ronek have all made it to Mehwa Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats. But the local...
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put...
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say, we could repurpose them to create a device...
Ether resembling that of the Predator, It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without...
Incredible!
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant.
Lozeni Hetta. That's where the Please, can you tell me what you...
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with... Like us, they followed the Ronak. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the... Well distracted, I heard. After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Rodak thunder. I ran. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronak, and have long... But still more were never seen again, including...
And...
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the...
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu Pelu would. All these years, I was convinced that my But now I see, they didn't abandon me. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am done, servant, a family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Emo.
Yeah.
You had to invoke Jurassic Park, didn't you?
Yes.
Because that was absolutely a T-Rex.
Yeah.
I will say they put a lot of work into its running animation, though. That was actually
Oh.
unsettling.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
Know that the Hetso are safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we also avenged my parents? Is the least I owe them for all this time. I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant and as the oft imperfect man beneath the mantle. Now, let us return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Roic straying from their favored grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than the traditional whistle. More effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let us return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it. Then, Wabalika and his crew will doubtlessly be relieved to finally have a solution.
I think having the power of your predator that you fear the most would be more traumatizing than just a stupid whistle that you only hear once in a while. Just saying. Whereas that traumatizing predator whistle ether will always be there.
Well, I think it's probably more like a putting down a scent trail. Like, they won't go near the tracks because it smells like one of their predators has been through in recent time. But I would also point out the problem that it might attract more of the things. Like, the Roic might stay away from the tracks, but you might attract more giant T-Rex monsters.
Yeah.
That might work. It might happen.
And apparently I flew right over the quest.
Train tracks. Yeah, but half of them have been in the train station, the office, whatever you want to call it.
You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it? So the Ronek were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Val Kuana's not too bad himself. What with this whistle idea? Sit tight. We'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. I like how the option is sit tight. Yes.
We're ready to go.
Whoa! She looks as good as new.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation...
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel. And we wouldn't have that without the scales. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
Oh. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in...
For a while there, we were really worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. But now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shaloni, and then the continent. Watch out. Jacques Terral, here we come. I share the sentiment, but we've got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle the matters in Alexandria, Lamity? I will note that the name of this quest is the name of the patch, so this is probably the final quest of the patch. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread a word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale, what do you have her working on? Galulja's mother. I feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kawakiwa we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I needn't search for what she left behind, because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny tiny Kawakiwa? What? No. Merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it was a good souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. Yes, well, you're off to the Dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time. See if there's aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course. We can give you the full story on the way. Apparently, Galul Ja was responsible for the Kawakiwa souvenir.
He's very excited to have seen Erenville wearing it.
Oh, how cute!
A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her findings with us imminently. I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Stola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate and the Skydeep Cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on Electro. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I could join you once we've finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny. Translation: 7.2 is probably going to be an Ishtola patch. Understood.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishal Jah herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
They missed a golden opportunity for a joke there.
My name is Taishal Jah, and I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order. Mother? Officially I was a chirurgeon with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was reeking. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic
I missed
distribution
a
of
what?
medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran, and in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path, a path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today, it should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your...
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and Mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
it's better to know. A profound response for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be. The little Jah is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. It's fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen to Gurul Jah. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, having shared what I can present, I am ready to head to living memory when you are. I'm planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much to and more to attend to. For now, farewell. A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expect people will be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliolal were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at lane 09.
The joke that they could have made was Shale said, because we have several audio logs that will play in sequence, and she didn't mention anything about setting aside adequate time to view them all in their entirety.
Yeah, I thought that. Like, I ended that sentence the same.
Uh-huh.
Got it. Nice. Where am I going? Huh.
Well, we're apparently heading for Lado 9. Somewhere else in Illusion 9, I'm not sure where. Oh, over there. There may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first.
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zoraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to...
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever. You there, Gaussen. You were the queen. What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to...
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
All of us shall be made...
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cell. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for... Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering.
But only 5,000 of...
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Let's return to the back room.
We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Miso terminal shut down, without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen. It is no surprise that they would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor. It is as if their memories have been erased. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, that was likely the work of the regulators, but by whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason? In that guise, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Meanwhile, in living memory,
Oh, where am I?
that sounded like Sphene.
My people, are they safe? Why am I?
In fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. I saw an NPC in the background in the cutscene that stood out a little too much, but I don't see them here. Might have been her. I don't know. Alright guys, we are caught up. So that's where we're going to end for today. And I guess we'll see you the next time there's a patch. So until then, guys, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See y'all next time. Have a good night.